expert reports for Ukrainian asylum seekers, human rights issues, and political repression in Ukraine. Hello colleagues, this video is for law firms representing asylum seekers from Ukraine. I'm Maxim Kritonov, and I specialize in preparing expert reports for asylum applicants. In this video, I'll explain my approach to analyzing Ukraine's situation, highlighting key human rights issues, and why expert reports play a crucial role in asylum cases. What is an expert report? As you likely know, an expert report is an independent analytical document for courts and immigration authorities. Its goal is to prove that the applicant faces genuine threats in their country and can't safely return. This report supports the applicant's personal story with objective data and analysis in the country and proves the link between the overall situation and the client's individual circumstances. The expert report confirms the context and general situation in the country, including political instability, repression, and conflicts. It cites international and local sources to support the applicant's personal risks, showing the connection between country conditions and individual threats. This strengthens the evidence base, confirming the applicant belongs to a vulnerable group which faces persecution. It verifies facts using reputable sources like Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, the UN, and others, formatted to OSCE standards. Among my experience and achievements, I'd like to highlight over the past 2 years, I've prepared over 100 expert reports that have helped asylum seekers secure refuge. I collaborate with 15 leading law firms across the USA, UK, and European Union. In 2020, I was recognized as the winner of the Expert Witness Awards in the category of Best Expert on Migration and Asylum Issues. All my reports comply with the standards of the Supreme Court and the requirements of the Civil Procedure Code. I respond to requests from law firms within an hour and prepare the report itself within 1 week. Now, about the violation of human rights in Ukraine. Since the start of hostilities in 2014 and the escalation of the conflict in 2022, the situation for people in Ukraine has significantly deteriorated. Consequences of the armed conflict include civilians at risk in combat zones from shelling, displacement, infrastructure destruction, military persecution, reports of violations of international humanitarian law including torture, abductions, rights of displaced persons impacted, internally displaced people facing discrimination and limited access to housing, work, and ethnic discrimination. Roma and minorities often face attacks and stigma. Freedom of speech. War increased media control. Journalists face threats and censorship. State institutions remain corrupt, limiting access to fair justice. Women's rights, gender violence, including cases. Conflict-related sexual violence remains a serious issue. LGBT discrimination. Community faces attacks, threats, and lacks legal protection. The report details all aspects with sources, findings, and conclusions. How do I work on Ukraine reports? I typically prepare expert reports based on instructions from major law firms in the US, UK, and EU. The questions they ask me include: what's the current situation in the conflict zone? What risks do IDPs and their families face? What threats do ethnic and religious minorities encounter? How's the situation with gender violence and women's rights protection? What threats exist for journalists and independent media? How feasible and safe is internal relocation for applicants? What risks do LGBT community members face under social pressure? How do I create an expert report? Creating a report is meticulous work requiring careful attention at every stage. I usually start by examining all documents provided by the applicant, which may include personal information, statements, evidence, interviews, and decisions. My job: identify key facts to strengthen the applicant's case. Next, I research the situation in their home country. I use credible sources to gather current info on threats to the applicant. Here, I link country conditions to the applicant's personal story. Then I analyze specific risks if they return home. My conclusions cite reliable sources for objectivity. I ensure compliance with all relevant standards. My reports follow strict guidelines outlined in practical directions from the Supreme Tribunal regarding expert evidence. Each report includes a truthfulness statement verifying that the data is based on reliable sources and the opinions are my professional judgment. All my reports meet the established standards, and I always verify the accuracy of the facts presented and the precision of my conclusions. My remuneration is not influenced by the outcome of the case, ensuring my work's objectivity. If necessary, I am prepared to appear in court and provide testimony about the situation in the applicant's country of origin. To order a report, if your clients need an expert report, please contact me at info@humanrights.com. Reports can be funded through donations, making them free for applicants, supported by state legal aid. Flexible payment terms are available for private requests. I work with applicants from Ukraine and other post-Soviet countries like Armenia, Azerbaijan, Belarus, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Moldova, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Russia. An expert report is a crucial tool that can significantly impact the outcome of a case. It helps prove the threat's reality and boost the applicant's credibility with courts and immigration officials. I am glad to help you and your clients seek justice. Thanks for your attention. See you soon.